welcome to the story of my very first solo trip. Turning 18 usually means graduating high school and then going to university. And guess what? That's exactly what I did. The thing is that I had other ambitions in life. As they say, you only turn 18 once, so I wanted to make this year memorable. Do something that I would have never imagined doing a few months ago to simply break that constant routine of comfort and finally feel like an adult.
Welcome to Chile.
But of course, it wasn't that simple. After spending the summer selling ice cream to save up enough money and finally picking the country I was going to after weeks of research, I had two options. Number one, head south with a bunch of glaciers, waterfalls, forests, and even penguins. Number two, head north in a dry desert. A very dry desert. But anyway, you already know what I chose. Well, I wasn't really honest, because actually I made some friends. But alone or not, there I was. And since I've made it till here, I couldn't just be standing there and wait for things to happen. I quickly realized that exploring these places on my own was awesome. There was like no one to question my choices. I could go wherever I wanted and stay in each place as much time as I wanted. Sometimes I even forgot that I was standing in the driest desert on earth. Guys, I think that I'm like kind of lost, and like the whole thing is like a maze. I don't know where to go. So the first few days were for me the beginning of this solo adventure, while discovering a wonderful, diverse landscape and talking to new people every day. But even if at moments I was convinced that it was perfect, as soon as the day and the whole exploring thing was over, it wasn't easy having to face this feeling, while instead I just should have been enjoying the precious time I had. You may tell yourself that you're in the other part of the world visiting some amazing and unique places. It still won't be enough to feel the loneliness you feel during those moments. Eventually, it got better. Cycling from one place to the other helped a lot, to be honest. The only thing I had in mind was to admire my surroundings and focus on where I wanted to go. And catch my breath as well. Cause yeah, cycling at more than 10,000 feet is not always simple. But once you arrive at your destination, all the effort you've just put in to get there right on time becomes painless. Crossing the Bolivian border was like the beginning of an adventure in the adventure. Just this time, I wasn't on my own.
Working with scientists, like supporting scientists. Yeah.
Which kind of scientist?
So I started out in neutron physics. It's from like the water of the lakes and stuff, and that's really fucking good. Just be like all of them, but just in the different places in Bolivia that he's jumped.
I very quickly realized that being able to share this journey with other people, I just met was exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, look who's coming for pictures.
Because this time it wasn't just for a few minutes or a few hours.
You ready?
And not only the variety of landscape was amazing, but we had so much fun trying to climb everything we saw,
You want to come?
Yeah.
tasting local beers,
The same for brûlé.
Crème brûlée. I did it! Crème brûlée.
discovering each other's music in the car,
Au revoir les doutes, les j'y arriverai.
Fazer samba não é contar minha.
but since during these few days I was mourning day and night with people which have become my friends, I could decide when I really wanted to be on my own and take the time to think. It even made me understand that being able to choose your moments of solitude is a luxury that back home I tend to forget. There's no need to explain how surprising Bolivia was. Even if some places were less hospitable than others, just being able to take a look at genuine places in this part of the world felt so special. It even made me notice that sometimes there actually can be beauty in emptiness. But while everything was perfect, this part of the adventure had to end. And after spending an amazing time with these people, on our way back, I was thinking about what will happen once I'll be on my own, just as before. To be pretty honest, I sort of convinced myself that I'll probably feel a lack of something. But I guess that I was wrong, because as soon as I returned to Chile, I wasn't really feeling alone. Not at all, to be honest.
You must move so quickly that it's just not possible.
Now we can eat. Yes. Very important.
And I even started enjoying being on my own while doing nothing really.
I only brought one bag with me for this trip, which is this one, and like more than half of it is occupied by my filmmaking gear.
Now it was time for me to move on and go to a final destination before this whole trip comes to an end. And I don't know if you remember this guy that I met in Bolivia, but we realized we both went to the same place next. Like a lot of people, I've always had this interest about old abandoned places, mostly because they remain frozen in time, and so do you. When you visit some place like this one, you can't help but look around you, look at the overall view, the little details, and all the things that are left over by the people that used to live here. And just ask yourself so many questions that probably will never be answered. After doing this trip, I thought I'd feel somehow different, but I don't. Because in the end, I realized that the journey had nothing to do with becoming an adult. I discovered the good parts of solo traveling and how amazing it can be. But it would be a lie saying that I didn't experience the bad parts as well, because that's the whole point of trying new things.
Oh, it was easy, yeah. I just typed. That's called the Falkland Islands.
Yeah.
We've been together for years now.
As soon as I turned 18, I told myself that I wanted to make this year a year of experiences. Because to me, that's what being young is all about. Experiencing.
To be honest, I don't know if this was my best idea so far. Por acá, amigo.
And what I'll never forget is how amazing it is to see that even though you are supposedly in the driest desert on earth, life still finds its way through. Because it always does.